I want to talk to you about personal finance software, and I want to do a quick compare and contrast between three players in this field. We have Quicken, we have Banktivity, and we have MoneyDance. And so here's a topology I want you to pay attention to. I want to first start with Quicken. So when you think about Quicken, I want you to think about the advantages such as a robust set of personal finance tools, connected companion website available. You have a flexible, in-depth transaction tracking process. You have an excellent set of customizable reports, and you have advanced investment tracking. I mean, by the way, Quicken has been in the business for several years, if not decades. So that's really good. So in terms of advantages, you have a lot of advantages. In terms of disadvantages, we think that you are more desktop dependent than most other personal finance apps. So this could be a problem for some people. So Quicken actually remains the oldest personal finance app available today. It's had 30 plus years to add features, which can be a good thing and bad thing. While it's the most capable and feature-rich personal finance app you can find, that depth can be intimidating, especially to people who are not really trying to micromanage their finances. So this is something that really you have to think about. And during COVID, they actually revamped their dashboard a little bit. So the software that has actually added or enhanced several features, including the dashboard, transaction registers, reports, and investment tracking. So they actually took the opportunity for COVID to actually work on to revamp their software a lot. So while Quicken is among the very best personal finance software you can find, Simplify by Quicken is a better place for most people to start tracking their income and expenses, especially if they're doing it on a phone, right? So that's really an important element. So for that reason, Simplify is our winner. If Simplify is too lightweight for you, though, we recommend Quicken without hesitation. So you got to really ask yourself what kind of sophistication you want, what kind of breadth and depth of software that you want. Okay. How much does Quicken cost? Well, Quicken costs about $85 to $120 per year, but you are able to add more flexibility and functionality depending on the plan that you have. Okay. And so despite its relative depth, you can get started with Quicken the same way you do with other personal finance apps like Mint, by actually logging into your online bank account through the phone. By the time you start using the app, you already have a lot of financial feedback waiting for you. So that's really cool. Okay. And as you can see on the screen here, Quicken is really great in terms of providing all kinds of feedback in a very, very visual way, by the way. So you're able to track income and expenses in a very granular way, if that's what you want. So that's really cool. So Quicken is really doing a great job there. For example, you can see if you have any bills due soon, when will you get paid next? Do you have any room left in your whatever category, in whatever budget that you want to track, and what transaction you have cleared recently? And what we love about Quicken is that they tell you your credit score information from Equifax, but this is updated quarterly. Okay, so for some people there may be more than enough. However, you can get more thorough credit score data and frequent updates from NerdWallet, Wallet Hub, and Credit Karma. Credit Karma even shows you your score from 2 bureaus instead of just one. And Quicken can help you plan for the future because it includes a whole suite of tools that help you plan financially, with budgeting features being the key ones. The software actually lets you create multiple budgets based on categories that you choose, or that Quicken chooses for you based on your income and expenses. And what they do is that they actually look at your cash inflows and cash outflows, and they see the patterns, okay? Income and expense patterns. You can view your progress in an easy to understand graphical format and adjust your budget when needed. If you want to micromanage your budget, Quicken has a spreadsheet-like table, so that's really good. And while Quicken lets you go pretty deep here, it's easier to build and analyze budgets in Mint and Simplify by Quicken. These apps are more intuitive for budgeting too. And other features like in this section help you reduce debts, make a lifetime financial plan, track and project income taxes, and establish savings goals. So that's really cool, especially if you have children and you're trying to really buttress your family's financial situation. That's really fantastic. Quicken can help you track and pay bills. That's fantastic because Quicken actually has a plan called Quicken Deluxe. So they offer 2 levels of bill management. So using Quicken Bill Manager, which is free, you can see each bill's due date, amount due, and last payment made for the billers you have connected to online. If you pay bills online, you can mark them as paid in Quicken and add other bills manually. Paying bills electronically through Quicken Deluxe costs an additional fee starting at $9.95 per month. Okay. And Quicken also has a great platform for investment tracking. That's really fantastic. You can also access your Quicken data on the web. So that's really good. So overall, when you think about Quicken, think about customizable reports, safety, because Quicken actually use multi-factor authentication. And you also have to ask yourself how deep you want to go. Do you want to go with Quicken or simplify by Quicken? It really depends upon your financial sophistication, but also how deep, how granular you want to go when it comes to tracking your finances. Okay. Do you just want to have an overview of your finance, or you want to have a deep view, like a granular view? Let's talk about Banktivity. When you think about Banktivity, basically you want to think about a great alternative to dissatisfied. I mean, if you are looking for personal finance software and you're dissatisfied by Quicken, or you want something very more sophisticated for Mac users, you will love Banktivity, because this personal finance software has all the features competing Mac InTouch apps have, and a few features typically available only on Quicken for Windows. However, you must have the latest edition of iOS in order to use this software. And Quicken is the personal finance software of choice for Windows users. But if you are a Mac person, you would love to go with Banktivity. Okay. Banktivity used to be called iBank, but in early 2016, IGG Software renamed it. So this is kind of important to think about. And so when you think about the pros and cons of Banktivity here, you have, so first of all, let me talk to you about the features. You have budgeting, you have bill payment, you have investment tracking. In terms of access is only available through iOS though. So there's no, this is not for Windows users. It's for iPhone users and let's just Apple users in general. Now, Banktivity doesn't have credit score monitoring, and you do have bill management, that's for sure. You do not have retirement planning, no. You have tax reporting. You have the ability to reconcile transactions. You have custom categories. You're able to import QIF files. But this software does not have two-factor authentication. But you do have online synchronization. So bottom line is what? You got to ask yourself, what's important for me, right? What kind of feature is important for me? You have a calendar view. So, and basically in Banktivity, you have your ability, you are able to view your posted and upcoming scheduled transactions on a handy calendar. You have the Mojave dark mode, so you can use Banktivities in Mojave's dark mode, which makes it for a very sophisticated and attractive user experience. You have a customizable summary view. You can choose which accounts you want to see and which accounts you don't want to see in the summary view. You also have synchronization with Zillow. So when you have a direct access subscription, you can integrate the Zillow estimates of your property values. You have tagging, so you are able to track spending across multiple categories for events such as a vacation. So that really adds an extra layer of clarity and also efficiency in your financial management. You have workspaces, so you are able to access side-by-side windows that allow you to work in multiple parts of Banktivity at the same time. So that's really good. You have quick reports. We love that aspect of that aspect of things a lot in Banktivity, because quick reports allows you to drag and drop, so you can create instant report on your finances. You have direct access. You have budgeting. You have one-button updates. You have improved investing tools, setup assistance. You can prevent duplicate download transactions. You have iPad synchronization. You have improved speed, and you have better categorization. So long story short, when you close your eyes and think about Banktivity, I want you to think about personal finance software for Macintosh users. Okay. And so created by IGG Software, it helps users pay bills online, track their spending patterns, and maintain a budget. It's a good alternative, in our view, to Quicken if you've got an Apple-centric household with a Macintosh computer and iMobile devices. So in terms of converting from Quicken, you are able to convert from Quicken, not a problem. So if you are able to have your file in Quicken, not a problem. Now, the one thing for sure, Banktivity requires the latest Mac OS 10 13 or newer. If you have an older Macintosh, you will not be able to use Banktivity. Okay, and so you can see on the screen that it's very sleek. You have mobile synchronization. So like Quicken for Windows, Banktivity Mobile can sync your iPad or iPhone, so you have access to your information on the go. And until recently, the app cost $9.99, but now it's free and ad-free, by the way. And Banktivity also offers an easy-to-use but comprehensive iPad app, which costs about $19.99. Okay, so this is an important element. Now, what about investment tracking? Well, the investment area has been improved from the previous version, but it's still not as useful as the either Quicken for Windows or the online service Empower. And that's really an important element to think about. Now, the positive is that this section allows you to reconcile your accounts and does allow for downloading transactions from popular financial institutions. You can even download the latest stock quotes into Banktivity. What are the pros and cons here? So the thing is that for those, if you want a native Macintosh application, Banktivity should be on your shortlist because it has all the must-have features you need in a modern personal finance application. That's an important element, especially if your household is iOS centric. Okay, and it's great to see Banktivity improve with each new version. This version that we just tested makes it just that much closer in comparison to Quicken for Windows, and in our opinion, surpasses Quicken for Mac. However, while the investment functionality has improved from the previous version, it could still use some improvement to match Quicken for Windows. Okay, that's an important element to think about. So compared to, and this is the bottom line here, compared to Quicken on a price basis, Banktivity is a good value because Quicken has switched to a subscription model, which means you'll have to pay $74.99 annually if you want all the bells and whistles. Conversely, Banktivity is still a one-time purchase and it costs just $69.99 with an additional yearly charge of $44.99 if you want the direct access synchronization feature. However, if you are upgrading from either Banktivity, the previous version, Banktivity 5 or Banktivity 6, you just have to pay $34.99. So that's really cool. And in terms of flexibility, this is just fantastic. Let me talk to you about MoneyDance. When you think about MoneyDance, think about a personal finance app that features a strong support for transactions and bill pay, multiple currencies, account management, and investment tracking. However, it has a dated interface and the mobile app is kind of limited, okay? So what are the pros and cons here when you think about MoneyDance? Well, the pros first, you have detailed, flexible dashboard. They do support multiple currencies, including cryptocurrencies. You have a capable transaction management process. The tool actually supports online bill pay. You have add-on extensions that are available, and you have good investment tracking and reports. What about the cons here? As I said a little earlier, you have a dated user interface. Operations could be more intuitive. Right now, the UX and UI have not been really thoroughly worked on in our view. And you have simplistic mobile apps, and it doesn't auto-assign spending categories. So there is no free version. There is no free credit score or report, and there is no web interface. But you do have income and expense tracking. You have an iOS app, and you have an Android app, okay? So it's important to understand that basically MoneyDance actually launched originally as a free open source desktop application around in the 90s, by the way. And so if you think about that, MoneyDance has been in the business for a while, okay? And so this personal finance app offers much of the same functionality as Quicken Deluxe, including income and expense management, online banking and bill pay, investment tracking, budgeting, and reports. It also supports multiple international currencies and cryptocurrencies, okay? And the tool costs about $49.99, which allows you to use the program for as long as you like, with one major upgrade included. So this is an important element. And MoneyDance is really safe to use. By the way, they've been in business for a while, like I told you, really fantastic. As you can see on the screen here, they allow you to have all kinds of graphs, all kinds of charts to really track your personal finances. And you can import financial data, not a problem. So MoneyDance downloads data from most major and many minor financial institutions, meaning that the transactions in your checking, savings, investment, loans, and credit card accounts are it's possible to convert them. Okay, and you also have the ability. You can see on the screen here. You have the ability also to categorize your transactions. So as you can see here on the screen, you have the credit card information, and everything is very granular. So for instance, when you have a credit card information, you list the expenses that are related to that credit card account, and then also the particulars of that credit card account. So you have a clear idea what's really happening in terms of cash inflows and cash outflows. One thing to mention, and this is a bummer, is that MoneyDance doesn't offer a fresh, state-of-the-art user experience like Simplify by Quicken does. Much of it looks dated, actually, and some of the screens are crowded, and the visuals and text are very difficult to read. I mean, what we have seen is that we were really sort of underwhelmed when we tested it. It looks like a blend of old and new content and tools, really. Okay, the software still uses standard Windows menus in addition to having a hideable sidebar, a vertical pane on the left that shows your list of accounts and their balances. And so this is an important element to think about, okay? And Quicken Deluxe, in our view, really offers more. And its reports and graphs look smoother and more elegant. They are also more customizable. You can, though, create and run customized reports in both apps. And in terms of the MoneyDance's dashboard, you can see on the screen here, the dashboard is pretty clunky, okay? Additional links in the toolbar take you to the site summary, which most personal finance services call the dashboard, and to reminders. The summary highlights some of the most important numbers in your financial life, namely the balance for each of your accounts. So this is an important element. And the default summary contains reminders for overdue and upcoming bills. Underneath that is a calendar that displays the current month's transaction reminders and general reminders, as well as a color-coded list of current expenses in text and graph form. So that's really an important element. And as you can see on the screen here, MoneyDance actually supports recurrent reminders, and you can easily create daily, weekly, monthly, or annual calendar entries on any day or every X weeks, as you can send a reminder a number of days in advance that you can choose. So it's really cool in terms of flexibility. Fantastic. You're able to manage transactions. You can track your investments also. That's an important element. And also you can budget your money in MoneyDance really, really fine. Now, the thing is that you got to really ask yourself how granular you want to go. And so if you want to go as granular as possible, then you can really integrate with other apps. So you can integrate with solutions such as CRM or inventory management. But overall, you have the ability to actually access the app also. So you can actually access MoneyDance on Android or iPhone, not a problem. So long story short, when you think about MoneyDance, think about a capable old timer. Okay, this is actually MoneyDance is closer to Quicken Deluxe than any other competitor that we have reviewed. It's also the oldest surviving personal finance service next to Quicken. That maturity is on display in its transaction management, investment tracking, online bill pay, and other useful features. So what is the approach here? So Quicken versus Banktivity versus MoneyDance. Which one should you go for? It really depends on what you're looking for, by the way. So when we think about the best personal finance software, you got to consider a few things. If you are in need of some organizational clout, especially if you are running a small business, picking a personal finance software package can help a great deal. Depending on your needs, you'll find that the best personal finance packages allow you to keep on top of things like receipt logging and managing expenses, all from within one program. And the other bonus is that most of the personal finance software packages allow you to share your data with your preferred tax and accounting software. That means what? It means integration, right? It means you'll be much better placed when it comes to tax filing time. There are personal finance packages tailored to both online and offline needs, with many having apps that let you track spending day to day. Cloud-based personal finance packages let you keep all of your data in a safe place too. So all bases are really covered. So what are the personal finance features to look for? You got to ask yourself, are you looking for desktop or mobile? Right? Because have a think about where and how you will use your personal finance software. And most of us tend to spend money on the go. So having a software package that allows you to log and track outgoings means a mobile and app-based solution makes a lot more sense. Most packages offer both desktop and mobile solutions, however. So you got to really, again, see what really is good for you. You got to think about reporting capability. So while personal finance packages are great at helping you manage money and tracking spending, they're also vital for producing reports. And you got to ask yourself how deep you want the reports to be, right? How granular you want the reports to be. This data can subsequently be used for tasks such as filing your taxes and for sharing with an accounts person who does the job for you, your accountant, your CPA, your EA, for instance. Think about easy integration. Do you want the software to integrate with third-party apps? What about help and support? As is really the case with any software package, it's always good to check there. There will be help at hand should you need it. Some personal finance packages come with free support, while others have it as part of a paid for it plan. How much help you will need depends on your confidence with the software in the first place. So what is our preference here? Quicken versus Banktivity versus MoneyDance. Which one should you go for? Our answer is very simple. Quicken. Okay, Quicken is the most sophisticated, the most flexible. If you're not really sophisticated in terms of investment or personal finance, you can go with Quicken by Simplify. But Quicken has been in this business for more than 30 years, and their UX, their UI is very, very fantastic. Now, Banktivity is exclusively for iPhone, Macintosh sort of users, and MoneyDance is good, but they have a dated sort of user interface, so they should invest a little more in updating their user interface. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. So here's the epilogue of today's conversation. So I gave you a comparative analysis of Quicken versus Banktivity and MoneyDance. I give you the typology. And then after that, I also talked to you about the approach and now our preference. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.